Hey there, y'all. How's it going? Welcome to your quadruplicity reading for Scorpio season. So, as I've said, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different for Scorpio season. So, there's going to be double the amount of zodiac readings, okay? And because of what Scorpio season tends to mean for me, this is usually when I start my own personal shadow work, okay? So, just this a little tip, just so you can get the most out of the readings for this next 30-day period. And of course, whenever you choose to do your shadow work, okay, you can always refer to this and do something similar, all right? So, like I said, double the amount of zodiac readings, with one being your run-of-the-mill, as I usually do with the Lenormand and the Kipper and tarot to further clarify towards the end of the reading. That's your quote-unquote normal zodiac reading, okay? But then I'm going to also do a shadow reading for, or a shadow scope, if you will, a reading for each zodiac sign as well. So the best way to get the most out of these readings is to not only watch the regular reading. So let me give you an example. So say you're looking at your sun sign specifically, or your first house, okay, for these particular readings. My suggestion is that you want to look at the sign that is opposite of that for you. So I'm just going to use myself as an example because that's easier. So typically, when this season starts, I begin to watch a lot of Libra readings, and I also watch a lot of Scorpio readings. Here's why. I am an Aries Taurus cusp, and when I look at the zodiac wheel, opposite of Aries and Taurus is Libra and Scorpio. So when I'm looking at the shadow aspects of personality and whatever it is I'm trying to work on within my sun sign or first house, because it is in my first house, the house of self, that's where I look. So, you know, for example, if your sun sign is in Capricorn, my suggestion would be to look at the shadow sign for Cancer. Now, these will actually be released on the same day to make it a little easier for you. So that is my suggestion to get the most out of these readings. Now, of course, you can watch for any placement in your chart. I don't specify that it's only sun, moon, or rising, because how I feel is we've all got a little bit of each of the zodiac energies in our chart. And sometimes looking at our sun sign is not going to necessarily tell us about what's going on in our work house or our love house or our family house, so on and so forth. I hope you guys get what I'm saying. So, that's my suggestion. And the entire point of this is because with shadow season, it's all about healing this aspect of duality consciousness and to bring us into unity consciousness so that we can all elevate. That's the entire point of why I am on YouTube. It's the entire point of why I started this channel and why I do what I do. Shadow work is very dear to my heart. It's probably one of the most important aspects of spiritual growth and elevation that one can go through if you choose to. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna go ahead and not ramble anymore and call that here, and let's move on to your quadruplicity reading. What's up there, misfits? Welcome to Pages of Ascension. Of course, welcome back if you've been hanging out with me for a while. So one thing I forgot to mention in that little intro is that some of you actually might have no idea what I'm talking about when I'm referring to who's opposite of you on your zodiac wheel and all that other jazz. So if you are unfamiliar with your chart, go ahead and check the description box. I'm going to leave you a link to the website that I actually go to pull my own personal chart. It's freaking fantastic, and I'll leave some notes in there too as well, on navigation, if you will. And then I'm actually going to leave a link to a couple of YouTubers that I actually follow in regards to they talk about the astrology of the birth chart, specifically in the zodiac signs, their energy, the different houses, and what each sign placement means and all that stuff. They're freaking phenomenal. So just to give you a little bit of help, and so you can investigate your chart and help you learn those lessons so you can elevate. All right. Okay, so Now that that's said and over, this reading is for cardinal signs. If you're a cardinal sign, you're Aries, Libra, Cancer, or Capricorn. Now, granted, you can look at these readings for any placement within your chart. It does not have to be for sun, moon, or rising. Okay. And let's see here. What else is there? So let's just go ahead and go over the fine print. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. So fine print. I am an adult. I do use adult language. So if that's something that you're uncomfortable with, this is a good time to exit stage left. No hard feelings. Plenty of kick-ass people here on YouTube. I am sure you can find the reader that uses the language that you prefer, okay? As far as pronouns go ahead and go with what you resonate as. This is an inclusive channel, okay? And of course, last but not least, if you are interested in a personal reading, you can go ahead and head to that website that's at the bottom of your screen. That should take you to my website, poacreator.com. Perfect. Poke around there and see if there's anything that strikes your fancy, okay? So let's go ahead and look at our cards. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, sucky now. Okay. All right. So, let's go ahead and go through your cards and then we'll flip over your theme for Scorpio season. Okay. So we have power, which is strength to kick off your reading. And then we have financial and material changes, which is the 5 of Pentacles. Okay. And then next we have disruption, which is the Tower. Don't freak. I think this is a good one, okay? And then we have memories of love, which is 6 of Cups as your tipping point. We have sacrifice, which is the Hanged Man in traditional tarot. Love begins is the Ace of Cups in traditional tarot. And then harmony, which is the Lovers in traditional tarot. So I don't think I actually mentioned it yet, but I am using John Holland's Psychic Tarot for your primary deck for Scorpio season, okay? So what your theme is for Scorpio season, I love it. It's personal growth, okay? All right. And I can tell you right off the bat that both 7 and 6 are going to be very prominent numbers for you for Scorpio season, cardinal signs, okay? So a little bit of a power struggle here is what I'm seeing. And I'm going to say that this could be in the term of love or finances, but I feel like this is definitely more centered on love for you for Scorpio season, okay? And here's the trade-off. I do feel like there are some financial changes coming for you in Scorpio season. But there's also changes in love coming from you. So it's almost like if money has been very successful, then there's about to be a flip and love is about to be very successful. And that goes the same instance in reverse. If love has been very successful, there's about to be a flip and your finances are going to be very successful, okay? But there is a disruption coming, unfortunately. And you're being asked specifically to have strength during this time. Now, ooh, sorry. It's had a download coming in. Now, from the cards that I have on my table, I feel like the group that I'm talking to specifically is that first one in which finances are about to take a hit in some kind of way, okay? And you're being asked to have strength and use your personal power and personal wherewithal to navigate through this, okay? So there is some type of tower moment coming from that. Forewarned is forearmed, okay? I hate to be the bearer of funky news on that, but that's what I'm seeing. And trust me, I have my own concerns because I'm also a cardinal sign, okay? But there's also good that's coming. So it's almost like the confirmation. Something is being torn down within your finances so that love can flourish, okay? Now I have to say too, like, this isn't necessarily love with another person, although I'm feeling like for the majority of you, that's probably what's going on here. Not surprising. Mercury's in retrograde, Mars is in retrograde. We're kind of in the time for that and the whole cuffing season thing or whatever. But this could also be talking about self-love, okay? And I say that because we've got personal growth is leading your energy for Scorpio season, okay? I do feel like the passion is about to be ignited for you regarding love specifically. I mean, this is feeling really, really heavily love. And I do feel like this hinges on someone who's from the past with the Six of Cups. Yeah. So it's almost like because the Tower and Hangman are bookending your tipping point, that it's almost like an internal power struggle, you know, especially because if you look at the Tower in this deck, this gentleman is chained. He's chained and kind of in this like tunnel thing where it's like you're ready to break out and feeling like you can't break out, okay? There's something that, or someone that y'all have been unsure about, on the fence about, I would even saying, with the Hangman, because the Hangman, he hangs himself up from the tree because he's looking for additional insight, okay? It's like the Odin tree story or parable, if you will, out of Norse mythology. And okay, so that might actually be very hitting for some of you, the story of Odin. So actually what I'm going to suggest is for those of you that kind of sounds like what you're going through, I would suggest actually looking up that particular myth in Norse mythology. It's Odin who hangs himself up from the tree to get perspective and insight and enlightenment, okay? Now back to what I was saying. You know, some of you have been looking for a way, I would almost even say, to move forward in this situation, because with the Hangman and the Tower, the way both of these are portrayed, like the Hangman, she's partially in mud. You know, mud leaves you stuck. Okay, and then you've got this gentleman over here in the Tower, and he's stuck in this tunnel, and his hands are chained, like he can't move. So it's like some of you have been looking for a way to get out of the situation, move forward in this situation, and you haven't been able to quite figure out how to do that. But there's something that's going on with this Tower energy that ignites within you a way to move forward. It provides you with the seed of some type of personal growth that ends up happening. Now with the Ace of Cups, again, this could be actual love, like love of another person, love with another person, or it could just be loving yourself. Okay, I'm not necessarily seeing anything that would suggest that if you are dealing with another person during Scorpio season, that this is a toxic situation. I'm actually not seeing that, but I do see that there is a choice that needs to be made in regards to that person and your personal growth. And sometimes this can be that you need to move away from a person in order to gain the personal growth that you need in order to elevate yourself, okay? But let's go ahead and look into the clarifiers and see what else we can pull out. Oh boy. It might be time to replace these cards. They've been beaten up. It's so funny. So, this particular deck, the John Holland Psychic Tarot, when I first started getting back into tarots, you know, for those of you unfamiliar with my story rather, I've been reading the cards since I was 8. And I took about a 10-year break. And didn't touch my cards at all. I still have every single deck that I ever bought when I was a kid. But I just didn't touch them because it didn't resonate. And when I started going through my dark night process and trying to figure out what the hell was going on, that's when I picked up my cards again, or started looking for a deck of cards to pick up, because unfortunately every single one of those previous decks had a card or two missing from them, so they were incomplete. And I guess I'm kind of old school. I don't like to use incomplete decks. It taints the deck. So when I was in the process of searching for another tarot deck, one of the ones I picked up was my gemstone deck, which I used to use all the time on the channel, but that deck is now out of print and it's very expensive to replace, so it's kind of retired and only for personal use. But the other one that I picked up was this one, the John Holland deck. So over the like 4 years at this point that I've been really digging back into my tarot practice, it's gotten a lot of use. All right, so story time over. I do feel like in regards to your strength card here, what's landing on top of that is overcoming this wounding that you have. Yeah, this is portal energy. Bottom of the deck of your clarifying deck. This is a person staring into the portal. So, you know, for some of you, this could be a closing out of a cycle, like the last, like, loose ends, if you will, of tying up a cycle. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. But I definitely feel like for a lot of you, this has to do with specifically third eye, heart, and sacral chakras needing to come into alignment. Okay? Allowing yourself to remain grounded, confirmation, but still allowing yourself to not become closed off and to not close off your intuition. And that's incredibly important, especially for Scorpio season. Okay. So with this card landing on strength, like, you know, there is some degree of wounded energy here. Okay. And I do feel like, at least in regards to your personal growth, that Scorpio season, this is something that is going to be at the forefront for you, cardinal signs. This is something that you're going to be working on. Okay. Now, moving on to financial and material changes, you've got the Queen of Wands, or the Queen of Fire. And if there is ever a card that I prefer to see on top of a card that can be as funky, if you will, as the Five of Pentacles, it would be the Queen of Fire. Because what that tells me is that you are, despite the financial changes that you might be going through right now, or that are coming your way during Scorpio season, whatever this Tower moment is coming for you, that you have the creativity and the insight to be able to make the best of that. The Queen of Wands is very entrepreneurial energy for me. She takes shit off of no one, okay? And if you try to hold her back or put a wall in front of her, she will bust through it. Okay? It's one of my favorite cards. It's a card that I very heavily identify with outside of the High Priestess. Now, I do feel like you're going to be able to push through whatever this financial blockage is that's coming through. Okay? And it's interesting because this Tower moment is like dual even in its own purpose, if you will. So like, we have two things going on. So I feel like there's an unexpected Tower in regards to finances, but then I think there is a triggered Tower by you in regards to love. Okay? And I say that because look at this person here. They're aiming their arrow. It's a specific target that they are going after. So I feel like in regards to love especially, that this is something that you are triggering. This is something that you are seeking. You're coming down up off that tree because you've gained the insight that you needed, and the passion has been ignited in you to do what you need to do in this situation in order for you to grow as a person. Okay. So with the memories of love, what's really interesting that's popping up is the counselor. So some of you actually might need to seek out a counselor or a mental health professional, okay? And it could just be because that's what's going to help you sort out what's going on within your own mind so that you can grow, so that you can move forward, so that you can move on, okay? Now, if this isn't a professional, I would just say that this is someone that you trust to be able to share deep things with, okay? And this is especially regarding past. So something that happened in your past, someone from your past, yeah, some type of moment that has kind of triggered this stuck energy within you in regards to your heart chakra specifically. Now, remember, I said this guy here, third eye, heart, and sacral. Okay. So there's something that could have happened to you and you're trying to work through that. And what Spirit is suggestion is for your own personal growth that you do seek out a counselor to soundboard with, if you will, so that you can make sense of all of it and heal yourself and move on. Okay, coming up off this tree. You know, even to help you make sense of the divine order in which why things happen the way that they did in either a situation with a person, something in the past. Okay, it could be either one of those, and remember, this is a general reading, so it's not going to be the same situation for everyone, but I do feel like it's either a person from the past or a past event that is affecting you in the present, okay? And for some of you, prohibiting that personal growth that you're seeking, okay? I do want to mention, too, that this personal growth card, it's represented by the number 7, okay? And with, you know, this character here on this card, it's looking up to the divine for answers, and perhaps that's why you've been up on that tree. That's why you've been in this hangman position, is because you've been looking for divine guidance to explain why these tower moments have happened. You know, what the purpose was in that growth. Confirmation. I do feel like for the majority of you, this Ace of Cups or the Love Begins card here, that taking place for you has a lot to do with you speaking and speaking up about something, speaking on something, okay? The throat chakra is very highly highlighted in this particular card, and it's almost like the hands are bound with this character here. In reference to the throat. So it's like the throat chakra being very prominent in your path of personal growth. So that's, you know, like I said earlier, that's potentially a chakra that is also blocked for you. Okay. So, and I would even say it's something that has bound you. Like there's a certain freedom that is going to come with speaking about this tower moment. Okay? Excuse me. Moving on to your bookend here with harmony. We've also got emotions here is what landed on top of it. And immediately what this tells me is that the choice to do this is what's going to bring peace and harmony to you. So what it does tell me is that some of you have not been, you know, within peace of self. You haven't been in a harmonious energy, and that's really kind of backed up here by the Tower and the Hangman appearing around this past person, past event. Okay, but speaking on it, and again, I feel like this is where this counselor is coming in, speaking on you know, the choices that you've made, the emotions that you're feeling is going to go a long way in helping you to achieve the personal growth that you're seeking, okay? So that's something I want you to keep in mind. You are strong. You can do this, okay? Especially if this is something that is particularly painful in your past, or particularly traumatic. You are strong enough to get through this, okay? So let's go ahead and look at the message that we've got for you for Scorpio season, and you guys only got one. Oh, interesting. It says, be reborn daily. It says, let go of the past and breathe in your new incarnation. So again, this is kind of backing up everything that I've been saying here. Is something from your past, some past event, past person, something has had you stuck and feeling like you've been unable to fly free, if you will. You know, there's an eagle in this person's face on this card, and it's like you're ready to be the eagle, but you feel bound to the ground, okay? By allowing yourself to voice about this person, about this event, whatever this tower event is, that is the key to trigger your personal growth, okay? I would almost even say, based on what I'm seeing here, that that's your hiccup. That is what's preventing you moving forward in your personal growth, is not addressing whatever this tower moment in the past was. Okay? And it's because of that, actually, of not addressing that this, and this is two-sided. So it's possible that this tower moment that happened is what's triggering the financial issue for you. Okay? But it's also possible that the trigger of this financial issue is what causes you, or I would even say forces you to deal with this. It triggers you to go into that personal growth. Okay? So your lesson for Scorpio season is discipline. It says, I can accomplish what I set my mind to. I really feel like this is specifically in regards to this Five of Pentacles, that there's something specific that you've been working on, and it's having the strength to remain disciplined so that you can accomplish this goal, okay? I feel heavier that the message for you for Scorpio season is personal growth, okay? You're looking for your new beginning, this cycle closing out. Okay, and in order to do that, you have to shut the door on the past, or at least close the window on it. You know, it's important to remember the things that have happened so that we can move forward from them, so that we can heal from them. But it's important to not dwell there. So there's definitely a lot of healing, I feel like, taking place for cardinal signs, specifically for Scorpio season. And you know what? I'm proud of you. I know you've got the strength to do it. Otherwise, this card would not come up. So you're going to smash this. You're going to smash this. All right. And you're going to be just fine. So, and I do want to emphasize again before we go ahead and call it, that if in this process of digging down into this energy that it feels like it's a little overwhelming or becomes a little bit too overwhelming for you, do seek out a counselor. You know, whether that's someone you trust or you go specifically to a mental health counselor, because that is just going to help you in this process, okay? Do not feel like this is something you have to do on your own. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and call it here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, like I said, cool stuff coming up for Scorpio season. All right, so with that, remember, your peace is your power, and I'll see you next time. Bye.